There's no cure for racing. You're not even going broke. The only cure for racing is the end of our lives, not the end of our career.
By far the best series I've ever raced in dollar for dollar. I can race all year on a quarter what it would cost me to run anything else.
Here you can beat it out or make a new one and be back the next week. And it's really an affordable series. I really like it.
It's nice to come back, and have the car slide around and, put it back in the driver's hands. I like that.
Hi everybody, I'm Olivia Pritchett and I want to welcome you to a first-class facility known as Midvale Speedway. This is the Super Cup Stock Car Series' 7th consecutive race at this particular track. Now, unlike last year, you're looking at considerably warmer weather, which could mean slicker conditions. Plus, we've got a great fan base here, so when you combine those two factors, you are looking at one interesting race.
It's the 10th anniversary season for the Super Cup Stock Car Series, and we've already seen one very hot race earlier today here from Midvale Speedway. Hello, everybody. I'm Gene Crane. You'll hear from Olivia Pritchett throughout the evening. But first, let's get to our starting lineup for the Skipco Auto Auction Twin 50s presented by United Tire and Service. This is race number 2 of the Twin Bill here this evening. On row number 1, by virtue of the redraw, Brandon Harrison brings the 5 car to the inside, and his father, defending champion Harvey Harrison in car 51, lines up alongside. Row 2 will see the 77 of Kevin Cromer line up inside, and J.P. Crabtree joins him on the outside with car 42. Trent Gosser's 71 car lines up inside row 3. He was a winner from earlier today in race number 1, and Jim Crabtree Jr. finishing second earlier today in the 63 alongside him. Tennessee's Mike Potter in the 14 starts inside row 4, and for the 2016 season, one of our winners, car 35, is Bill Ashton. Row 5, Tim McLaughlin in the 2 car on the inside, and on the outside, driving car number 3 is Jason Shue. Row 6, Brian Harrison brings the 15 to the inside, and Denver, North Carolina's Larry Wilcox is in the 66. Row 7, Jared Brocker, a rookie contender here in 2017, is in the 72, and John Curley in the 99 on the outside. Shotgun on the field, Stephen Cox in car number 7. That's a car change. If you saw the first event, that was the 21 that Stephen drove earlier. A rear end problem causes him to change to the 7 car for race number 2. Field is set and ready for a green flag. They come off at turn 4, and Brandon Harrison, little contact with Harvey Harrison on the start. Brandon will jump out front. Harvey to second, and a battle for third. That is Cromer in the 77 and the 42 of Crabtree going at it down to turn 3. Side by side behind them as well. Across the line, though, it's Brandon Harrison. He'll lead lap number 1 with father Harvey in tow as they work through turns 1 and 2. On board with Jim Crabtree Jr. directly ahead of him, the 71. Winner from race number 1, Trent Gosser. Gosser sizes up the 77 of Kevin Cromer. He's going to dive to the inside going to turn 1. Gosser's going to get by Cromer, leaves the door open. Here comes Jim Crabtree Jr. Crabtree up to 4th. Both drivers chasing the Harrisons. Brandon Harrison, your race leader, and Harvey Harrison in that 2nd spot. Crabtree decides he wants 3rd. He goes to the inside of Gosser down in turn 1. Crabtree takes over 3rd, sets his sights on the 51. Looks like he's got a nose alongside, and now side by side with Harvey Harrison off of turn 2. Crabtree's car dances around just a bit off of turn 4, but he'll take over 2nd, leaves the door open, and Gosser, whose car is already starting to smoke a little bit, is now battling for 3rd with Harvey Harrison. Gosser, although he went to victory lane, also went to the pit area twice during race number 1 to check out that smoking issue, and looks like it has resurfaced once again. We'll keep our eye on that 71 of Trent Gosser as he rides in that 3rd spot. Crabtree right now 2nd, trying to take a look to the inside. Can't do anything with Brandon Harrison as we go to break. Here's a look at our top 5. Harrison, Crabtree, Gosser, Harvey Harrison back to 4th, and J.P. Crabtree rounding out your top 5. The Super Cup Stock Car Series is brought to you by Patrick Miller Photography and by G-Force Racing Gear, your home for quality, innovation, and value. 10th anniversary season for the Super Cup Stock Car Series here at Midvale Speedway, the Skipco Auto Auctions Twin 50s presented by United Tire and Service. Battle for the lead. Jim Crabtree Jr. looks to the inside of the 5 car. Brandon Harrison to the outside. Crabtree down low. He'll take over the lead and brings with him Trent Gosser. Crabtree, after a 2-year layoff, returning to the Super Cup Series, and Gosser, a newcomer to the series that continues to grow and expand here after 10 seasons. We talked to PR coordinator Aaron Creed about series growth.
Well, we already see it here in Midvale. We have a record turnout. We got new drivers. We have drivers returning, drivers that have tried out our series in the past that are coming back to run the full schedule. We have never had a field and a turnout like this here in Midvale. There are 15 drivers that are here alone that have finished in the top 3 in a Super Cup Stock Car Series race before. So well over half of the field can realistically win this event.
And right now, the most recent winner, Trent Gosser, trying to challenge Crabtree. Your leader, Jim Crabtree Jr., trying to hold off the 71 of Gosser. Pretty good race as they go back to turns 1 and 2. Gosser still showing a lot of smoke out of that 71. Much worse than what we saw earlier in the evening in race number 1. Gosser and Crabtree side by side through 3 and 4. A little contact there. Crabtree up the racetrack, and Trent Gosser to the race lead. New race leader as they work off at turn 2, but heavy smoke as Crabtree backs off, and now about 4 car lengths back down in turn number 3. Racing up front, settles in Gosser. Cross start finish, and behind him, side by side, oh, in trouble. Looks like Harvey Harrison got into the 5 car of Brandon Harrison. Caution is out. Caution out. Damage to the right front of Harvey Harrison's 51 car, evident even from the left side view. 2 got together. Here's another look at it. Battle for third, down to turn 1. Harvey Harrison to the inside. Brandon to the outside, that black 5 car. Harvey, looks like he picked up, possibly got a wheel off on the left side, upset the car, and it slid right up into the 5 car of his son, Brandon Harrison. The 2 get together and bring out the caution. Here's another look at it from Kevin Cromer's perspective. Cromer seemed to back off a little bit there with that smoke from Gosser's car, but wow. JP Crabtree narrowly avoids the Harrisons as Brandon gets back underway quickly. But wow, what an event that could have been. Over in turns 1 and 2, under caution, Gosser's car does not seem to be smoking now. It's only under power that we see smoke out of Gosser's number 71 machine. And Gosser looks like he is being summoned to the pit area to find out what the problem might be with that 71 car. That's going to give the lead back to Jim Crabtree Jr. And right now we'll get it sorted out between JP Crabtree and the 5 car Brandon Harrison, who's going to line up in that second position. So Gosser back to the pit area. Looks like he's got the helmet off, unbuckling the straps. It might be the night for the 71 car after a spectacular win earlier in the afternoon. Olivia's made her way over to the 71 car as Trent Gosser climbs out.
Hey, Trent, what's going on?
Oh, in the first race, I guess we figured out what happened was it pushed the rear seal out of the tranny, so we was out of grease by the end of the race last time, so I quit smoking towards the end. We tried to fix it, put a seal in it, and put some brackets and stuff on it, try to hold it in there, and it didn't hold up, so.
Well, hey, your season is still off to a great start, and I hope you're going to come back.
We'll be back.
He gave it one heck of a ride all the way to the lead after a win earlier in the afternoon. Looks like it's all for naught. We head to break. Here's a look at our top 5 getting set for a restart. Stephen Cox from the back of the field is up to 5th with car 7. The Super Cup Stock Car Series is brought to you by RacingJunk.com and by Stable 360 Performance. Use it every fill-up to keep your engine running cleaner, smoother, cleaner, and stronger than ever. Midvale Speedway set for a restart here in the Skipco Auto Auction Twin 50s presented by United Tire and Service. Second of a twin bill here in Midvale, Ohio. And on the restart, Jim Crabtree Jr. in the 63 is going to jump right back out front with his son, JP Crabtree, in car 42, settling into the second spot. Kevin Cromer's 77 runs in third, and here comes Stephen Cox in car 7 sneaking into the picture. Off the corner, leaders back to the line, Crabtree, and one car loose out of turn 4. Don't know if he had any help, but looks like we're going to get a caution. We do. Caution is out. Car 15, Brian Harrison, crossed up out of turn 4 and into the outside wall to put us under caution once again. Wild slide out of turn 4. Here's another look at it. Can't tell if he had any help up there in turn 4. But definitely loose off the corner, overcorrects. The car bites and goes straight into the outside wall. So Harrison heading back to the pit area with that 15 car. Set for a restart, Jim Crabtree Jr. and the 99 of John Curley make up row number 1. Curley was deeper in the field, but because no one elected to move up to the outside on the restart, Curley had that option, and he restarts second. Crabtree with the lead, and Curley to the outside down in turns 1 and 2. Cromer's car bounced off the inside curbing, went up the racetrack as Stephen Cox, the 7 car, able to drive to the inside. Cox up to second and looking to the inside on the 99 of John Curley. Curley got a little loose off of turn 4. Battle for second in turns 1 and 2. And off the corner, Stephen Cox is going to take over second, setting his sights on Jim Crabtree Jr. Stephen Cox set a new track record here at Midvale in qualifying last year to come home in second position. He's looking for his first ever win. And we had a chance earlier to ask him about his expectations for 2017.
I'm really excited because I've never had an opportunity to go for a national championship. Super Cup, just in 2017, they've split into North and South Series, and so now the combined winner earns the first Super Cup short track national stock car title. I won it. With my television schedule, I have so few opportunities. There's only been one chance in my life that I've ever had to run for a title. That was 2004. We won the Rookie of the Year. We won the GT2 Road Racing title. So I'm anxious for another shot. I mean, it's literally been almost 15 years since I had a shot to run for a title.
Well, he's got a shot at a win here tonight, but he's got to catch Jim Crabtree Jr. 2-car breakaway up front. But this third place battle's getting pretty intense. Kevin Cromer, the 77, trying to get by the 99 of John Curley. Curley, when he dropped out of race number 1, said he'd be back for this race and he'd make it exciting. He's done that. Curley loose off of turn 4. Cromer's going to get by. J.P. Crabtree. See that damage on the right front of Crabtree's car? That happened during race number 1. His car hooked up and going pretty good, going towards the front. Looks like he's going to get by Curley for 4th. And J.P. Crabtree sets his sights on Cromer in that 77 car. So 3rd, 4th, and whoa, Crabtree into the rear bumper of Cromer as they work out at turn 2. J.P. Crabtree, he wants a piece of that 3rd position. He's going to drive by in turns 3 and 4. Move Crabtree up to 3rd, Cromer back to 4th, and Curley in that 5th position. Pretty good battle deeper in the field. 2-car breakaway, though. It's still Jim Crabtree in the 63 and Stephen Cox in the 7 showing the way. This 3rd place battle is settled down now for the time being. Here's a look at our leader, that is Jim Crabtree, out in front of Stephen Cox. Cox unable to close that distance up. Rides in that 2nd spot as those 2 leaders work through turns 1 and 2. Looked like Crabtree's car might have a little bit of a push. He might be needing to wait on that car just a little bit. We had to break with Jim Crabtree showing the way over Stephen Cox, J.P. Crabtree, Kevin Cromer, and Harvey Harrison has made his way to the top 5. We'll be back with more action right after this. The Super Cup Stock Car Series is brought to you by Extreme Awards and Personalization and by G-Force Racing Gear, your home for quality, innovation, and value. Super Cup Stock Car action, Midvale Speedway, and it is Jim Crabtree Jr. showing the way over Stephen Cox in the Skipco Auto Auction Twin 50s, presented by United Tire and Service. Second of the twin bill here at Midvale Speedway to kick off the 10th anniversary season for the Super Cup Stock Car Series. 2 leaders working down the back straightaway. Stephen Cox has not been able to close the distance very much on Jim Crabtree's 63 car. We'll ride along with Stephen Cox. Stephen Cox trying to improve his spot by 1, and Crabtree's car goes up the racetrack. Sure as spotter, at least Stephen Cox's spotter, that is. Cody Robaugh, no stranger to victory lane in Super Cup competition, has indicated that Crabtree has a car that just doesn't want to stay on the bottom of the racetrack. Looks like Stephen Cox has adjusted his line to kind of follow that. Cox all the way down on the white line down at the bottom of the racetrack, but Crabtree's car still wants to run up the racetrack and leaves that inside line open. Here they are off of turn 2 once again, inside lane wide open. Cox cannot take advantage of it right now, but his lead battle starting to heat up. and get intense. Behind them, that battle for third's not settled yet. J.P. Crabtree has it. Kevin Cromer wants it. Harvey Harrison is right there. Kevin Cromer, quite the competitor all his lifetime, was able to beat cancer last season and returned to the Super Cup Series. He said he's been a competitive in not only motorsports, but all forms of athletics. And we had an opportunity earlier today to sit down and learn a little more about Kevin Cromer and just how competitive he is.
I actually was a catcher in baseball up until I was 18 years old, and I played high school football for a little bit. Because when we were kids, we didn't play Xbox and stuff. We played baseball. In the summer, you're out playing baseball. In the winter, you're shooting basketball or football. So we were pretty athletic when I was younger. And then I started racing 12, 13 years old in go-karts, and I've been racing ever since.
Do you have any particular win successes?
The best win was the first win in this series, and that was right here in 2011. That would have been my first touring series win. I ran NASCAR Modifieds. I toured with the Modifieds, Hooters Pro Cup. We ran a NASCAR Winston series at Flemington Speedway, but this was the best win I had because it's the first win I ever had in a touring series. And to win with the caliber drivers you drive against in this series is something to accomplish.
Kevin Cromer trying to accomplish a little more here this evening. And Stephen Cox also trying to get some things accomplished in that second spot and putting the pressure on Jim Crabtree Jr. This is the battle for the lead. Crabtree's car up the racetrack again. Jim Crabtree really punishing that right front tire, trying to hold off the 7 car of Stephen Cox. Car slides up. Stephen Cox gets a fender alongside out of turn 4, is not able to capitalize that time. Wide entry and then cuts it across. Stephen Cox again with a fender alongside. Now will pull alongside down in turn 3. Battle for the lead off of turn 4 and off the corner. Looks like Stephen Cox is going to put the 7 car out front. New leader here at Midvale Speedway in Super Cup competition. Stephen Cox to the lead from the very back of the pack on the original start. He is now your leader with Jim Crabtree Jr. trying to give chase and see if he can't get that lead back. As we look back to the third position, J.P. Crabtree still able to hold off Cromer and Harvey Harrison. Riding along with Jim Crabtree Jr. Car number 63 following Stephen Cox. And again, Crabtree's car wants to slide up just a little bit. The nose wants to shove just a little bit right in the center of the corner, and that gives Stephen Cox all the advantage he needs to hold on to that lead. Leaders down the front straightaway once again, but Crabtree trying to do everything he can to go to victory lane here tonight at Midvale. As we head to break, here's a look at your top 5 with Cox, Crabtree, Cromer, and Harrison showing the way. The Super Cup Stock Car Series is brought to you by Performance Fiberglass Products and by 303. Keep your car looking new longer. Closing laps here at Midvale Speedway. Super Cup Stock Car action kicking off the 10th anniversary season with the Skipco Auto Auction Twin 50s presented by United Tire and Service. Stephen Cox looking to score his first career Super Cup win. He's been a runner-up on 2 occasions previously. Right along with Stephen Cox. Hard to believe that just a little over a year ago, Stephen Cox severely burned in a very unusual incident road racing at Circuit of Americas. Stephen Cox trying to score his first win. Jim Crabtree Jr. trying to close in with that 63 car. Just not able to make up the distance as the white flag is shown. Stephen Cox around to turns 1 and 2. Final time around. Can Crabtree close? That car's been pushing it. Pushes again off at turn 2. Does not look like he's going to have enough to make a challenge. Here is Stephen Cox off the corner. And the car number 7, Stephen Cox, is going to victory lane. He'll score his first Super Cup career win. Jim Crabtree Jr. coming home in that second spot. J.P. Crabtree will come across in third. Stephen Cox climbing from that machine. After quite an effort here tonight, a backup car used to go to victory lane. Gives a wave to the crowd. He'll get up on the doorpost there. Gives the roof a little bit of a slap. He is a happy young man down there in victory lane. Stephen Cox ready to celebrate And Olivia has made her way to our winner.
Stephen Cox, Larry Berg trusted you with his car, and you did not disappoint. This has been a long time coming. What's on your mind?
Oh, well, you know, I feel like we brought the best car here last year, went away second. We had the best car that should have crossed the finish line first at Ona, finished third. You know, we got bumped out in the first race, the first 50 lap here. Twice we got rear-ended. It's just like, what do you got to do to get through a race? But thank goodness, Cody Robaugh and you know, Thomas and Larry and all the guys, Josh, they worked so hard all day long on both of our team cars to get these ready to go. I'd like to thank Larry. He stepped out of this ride for me because he knew that I was serious about winning the Northern Division Championship and hopefully the national title. And, you know, he stepped out of that ride for me, and I'm taking this win. So I am so thankful. Thanks to everybody at Stable 360 Performance and 303 Products for standing behind us and believing in us. This is the coolest.
Known Stephen Cox for about 20 years now, and congratulations, my friend. Well, Jim Crabtree Jr. comes home second. His son, J.P. Crabtree, comes home third. A family affair. Let's hear from them.
Jim Crabtree, 63. Second place again. There's a lot of drivers that would be thrilled with that. Tell me about your night.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. You know, like I said, this is the first time we've had this car out, and this is the first time I've raced in probably about almost 2 years, you know, so. And I'm wore out too, you know. I'm gonna have to get in shape, but the car just got tight in the middle again. Then I had no forward drive off, so we got some work to do, but we'll get it.
Were you able to enjoy the race though?
Oh yeah, when I can load it up and it looks like this, I'm happy. You know, all the fenders are still on it, so we're good.
All right, you fought really hard in the last race that you were in, and tonight you got third. How you feel about it?
I feel pretty good. This track here, it's a nice facility, but it's not one of my favorite tracks. I just haven't had a good car here, but tonight we had a pretty good car, and I just can't thank everybody enough for all their help.
Better luck next time. We're glad you came.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Congratulations. A pair of runner-up finishes for Jim Crabtree Jr. here today. As you look at the finishing order, J.P. Crabtree, great run as well. Looking down the order, Mike Potter, John Curley, Jason Shue, 6, 7, and 8. Larry Wilcox, you may have noticed a family atmosphere in Super Cup Series. And one of the guys wrenching on his car, Brad Elter, becoming a grandfather, we learned this afternoon as well. Congratulations. For Olivia Pritchett and the entire Sopwith Motorsports crew, I'm Gene Crane, and we'll see you next time.